Beat making is a part of producing, but it's not 100%. It's probably like 50-50.
Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Payne, one for BeatStars.com. Here with the special guests. I'm saying that plural because I don't often have the pleasure of interviewing production teams. We got Mike and Keys in the building right now. Shout out to both of you. Appreciate you sitting down, sharing your wisdom and experiences with us.
Sir, thank you for having us.
So first things first, since BeatStars is an online beat selling platform, you guys actually met on another online beat selling platform, Rock Battle, correct?
Correct.
So what led to you actually going beyond just being internet acquaintances and forming a real production team?
Mutual people that we knew. We kind of all knew the same people without even really knowing. So we just wanted to put a face to the music.
You were in separate states though, am I right?
Well, actually, we were in the same state. I was going to school in California. Keys had lived in Sacramento, but I had heard through Keys, through someone else that I went to college with. So
back on March 29th, you tweeted that when you first moved to LA, when you both first moved to LA, a veteran producer by the name of Scoop DeVille had played you some beats that more or less intimidated you quite a bit, we'll say.
Yeah.
What led you to make that move to LA and push your way through that musical tradition, that pretty well established and competitive musical tradition out there?
Me and Keys were living in San Diego in like 2007, and we were roommates with a DJ named DJ Fingers, and he was a DJ for Xibit, so he was always going back and forth to LA, and we was like, man, we want to go, we want to be in the studio. So that was like our first opportunity to be in LA. Was in the studio with Xibit and Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Did any music materialize from those sessions, those early sessions with either of them?
Yes, we actually did a project with them. They had a group called Serial Killers with Be Real, Xibit, and Young D, and we had actually started that vibe, and we did 10 songs with them. Actually 2 came out, but we did 10 songs just without not knowing each other, just being at the studio together every day.
So speaking of relationships, what's your relationship with 1500 or Nothing?
Oh man, our relationship with 1500 or Nothing is really everything. They've been the big brothers to us in the music industry, as far as guidance and being actually being in the studio with the artists. They were the first people we seen in the studio actually working with the artists, and that was just inspiring for us.
So a lot of people have this conversation where they debate the terms producer and beat maker, and they say they're not the same thing. So would you say you went through the transition from being just beat makers to actually being all around producers after experiencing those sessions with 1500 or Nothing?
Yeah, definitely. They showed us everything in the studio, how to control a session, and beat making is a part of producing, but it's not 100%. It's probably 50-50. So being in there with an artist really makes you a producer and controlling the whole session. That's what they showed us. 1500, they showed us that.
What would you say was the most challenging step towards becoming producers when you first started working directly with artists?
The first way we originally thought was, we just gotta have dope beats, the artist is gonna get on it. But as to transform from a beat maker to a producer, the artist be looking more for ideas from the producer. So if you're a producer that's not a songwriter, you should have a songwriter with you. There's certain elements that you have to do to make the song correctly.
So what's some advice you could give to aspiring producers who want to make that leap?
The first thing is really working hands-on with the artist every day. We always use Drake and 40 as an example. They've been building together from day one. Before Drake was an artist, 40 was there. They were still trying to figure out their sound. So that's really producing.